Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express, the important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 10th of May, the first important news, that is Cyclone Mocha expected to develop in West Bengal. Second, common uniform for Indian Army officers. Third, challenges to ED Chief Tenure extension. We'll see the tenure extension and the Supreme Court concern in this regard. The fourth is Indian among the top 5 countries in the preterm birth problem. And the last is an editorial, securing the migrant vote. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. And just to remind you about the mock test series that we are organizing, the name of the initiative is Prelims Mirror. The date is scheduled for 14th of May. Both paper, that is General Studies paper for GS and CSAT paper will be there. For taking out the benefit of this initiative, you need to register yourself. मैंने वीडियो के description में एक dedicated link दिया है. You can check out further details and register yourself to avail the benefit. It is very important to give all India level mock test, and we at Apti Plus is maintaining the quality at highest standard level so that you get a parallel stimulations when it comes to the UPSC prelims examination. So do check it out. Now, starting the news with the first, that is Cyclone Mocha expected to develop in the Bay of Bengal. Something important for General Studies paper 1, that is important geographical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activities and cyclone. So what is Cyclone Mocha and how it has come up? We'll see the details. So for the Cyclone Mocha, the IMD, that is the Indian Meteorological Department, is expected that a low pressure is about to develop in the Bay of Bengal. And if you go by the name Mocha, this was suggested by Yemen after the Red Sea port tea, which is known to introduce the coffee 500 years ago, right? So if you have visited Starbucks or any coffee outlet like Costa Coffee, CCD, you must have come across with a variant of coffee which is known as mocha. Other than then you have cappuccino, you have caramel, you have espresso. So these are the variants of coffee that is available in the exclusive coffee outlet. Among them, the one variant is mocha. So this is something that will be relevant for your information. Now the cyclone is likely to intensify in the depression. Further is that Cyclone Mocha, and the storm is expected to move towards Bangladesh and Myanmar. So it is not confining only to India. It will have its repercussions in the state, in the country, that is Bangladesh and Myanmar. Now about cyclone, how does it take place? You can see this video. Like this is how the cyclone move anti-clockwise. From this image, it is clearly evident that how the clockwise movement is there, right? You can see this anti-clockwise movement. So cyclone rotate anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere and rotate clockwise in southern hemisphere. So these are some of the basic NCERT facts. And the cyclone is a low pressure area with wind spreading inwards. Now, low pressure area की अगर बात करें, according to the IMD, low pressure area is already formed over the southern Bay of Bengal and adjoining south of Andaman Sea. और details की बात करें, the path has intensified will be provided after the formations of the low pressure area. The formation of the low pressure system have a potential transformations into the cyclone, and it caused the concern for specific state in India that include Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, and even to some part of Jharkhand. But categorically it will be confining itself to the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Now waiting for a heavy rainfall, there will be definitely, the warning is there that the heavy rainfall might be there. So IMD, that is the Indian Meteorological Department, has issued a warning of heavy rainfall in the Andaman and Nicobar, that is from May 8 to May 12, and the influence of the cyclonic circulation that is in the southeastern Bay of Bengal and likely to intensify the cyclone storm in the coming days with the state of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. In the wake of the impending cyclone, the IMD has issued warning for 18 districts in Odisha as well. Now, moving to the other news, common uniform for Indian Army officers, something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is various security forces, agencies and their mandate. Although this is also important for General Studies Paper 2, where government policies and intervention are specifically mentioned in your syllabus. Now, in a significant move, the Indian Army has decided to adopt a common uniform for the officers in brigadier rank and above to bolster the part of common identity approach in the service matter among the seniors. So this will be having a uniformity, a collectiveness will be incorporated through this. So collectiveness की बात की गई है, right? So this is what the government is looking for. Now the decision will be taken after the detailed deliberations during the last month Army Commander Conference and extensive consultation with all their stakeholders. The changes will be effective from 1st of August 2023. Now, what is the rationale behind this decision? Why government has come up with such decision? The first and foremost that the standard uniform will ensure a common identity. This is what I told you, commonality की बात की गई है. For all senior rank officers while reflecting their true ethos to Indian Army. This will also enforce Indian Army character to be fair and equitable in the organizations. There will be no change in the uniform worn by the colonel and below rank officers. जो colonel है उसके below rank के officers हैं उनमें changes नहीं की गई है. And even the army officers ranked below brigadier and above are mostly posted at the headquarters or establishment where those from all army services work functions together. So these are the part of the rationale that is behind the decision. Now, moving to the other news, challenges to ED Chief Tenure Extension, something important for General Studies Paper 2. That is important aspect of governance, transparency, part of e-governance, and even accountability when it comes to the positions like some of the important apex institutions in the country like ED, CBI, and CBC. Now, recently, Supreme Court has taken the cognizance and has given its remarks and said that Supreme Court will visit its 2021 ruling when it comes to the tenure for the superannuated officers, whether their tenure may be extended or not in exceptional case. What is superannuation? Superannuation is a term that is used to when an individual retire of their normal age, right? जो retirement age है, मान लो किसी सर्विस में retirement age 58 है या 60 है, तो वो उस particular officers की superannuated retirement age होगी. Now, in certain conditions, exceptional extension is always given by government, whether he is exceptionally performing या फिर उसमें demand है कि उसे extension दी जानी चाहिए, तो government उसे extension देती है. Now, in this case, specifically when it comes to ED, Supreme Court ने भी उस बात से इत्तेफाक रखा था. They have actually given their assent कि जो extension government ने दी है वो सही है. But now they have cautioned that they will revisit their decision. Now, in 2021, the court was dealing with the appointment of the director for the Enforcement Directorate, that is ED. So Sunil Mishra is the individual who is currently the director of the ED. Now, SC ruling की अगर बात करें 2021 की, in September 2021, the bench of the Supreme Court Justice has upheld the order extending the tenure for the director of ED beyond 2 years. Generally, they are appointed for 2 years, but यहाँ पे 1 year की extensions को Supreme Court ने allow किया था. However, the bench said that extension of the tenure of the officers who have attained the age of superannuation should be done only in the rare and exceptional case. This point to be noted, the Supreme Court has categorically said that this should not be the practice of the government of the day, but this should always be in a case of exception. So this is what the Supreme Court said. If you're writing in mains paper, just highlight this. And there's a section 25D where it says CVC की अगर बात करें rules की 2003 की, it has laid down that the minimum tenure for the Enforcement Directorate, and it says that the word not less than 2 year cannot be read that not more than 2 years. जब Supreme Court ने अपनी judgment दी थी उस समय ये बातों को basically they have come up with this particular statement. Now the director of the Enforcement Directorate की training क्या होती है, ED की जो director है उसकी training कैसे होगी, and what is a part of the tenure actually that is taking place. I am precisely confining myself to the tenure and the durations of him he will actually be functioning. So the current director of the ED was appointed for the post of 2 years on November 19, 2018. So this was a day after it is said that 2 years is the only time that your tenure है 2 year की ये extend basically this was ending at 2020, that is November 13, 2020 ये टेन्योर खत्म हो रही थी. उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट ने 1 साल की एक्स्ट्रा एक्सटेंशंस दी. Now for that there was a PIL which was filed in the Supreme Court and said that it is a violations of the section 25 of the CVC. So you should know what is section 25. I have already told you कि 2 year की extensions के ऊपर allowed नहीं. Now in November 2021 1 year की extensions और दी जाती है. And after that, the president also signed an amendment where it says that the important positions like CBI, this is the point to be noted, CBI and ED के offices को 5 year तक की in total extension मिल सकती है. This is what the changes has been proposed by the president of India. Very very important. Without इससे कि आप background समझ नहीं पाएंगे, that is it is relevant that you should know this. Now observations क्या है Supreme Court के इस regard पे? Supreme Court says that the prima facie, the view is that the 2021 के जो cases had not been rightly decided and it required the consideration, and the case did not involve the question of extension then, right? The bench was hearing a plea that was basically filed before the Supreme Court on the ED chief's extension, and it says it is a violation of the CVC rule section 25. Now, moving to the other news, India among the top 5 countries in the preterm birth problem, something important for general studies paper 2, that is the government issues related to the development and management of health. Now, there was a report which was published by the United Nations, and UN report में ये बताई गई है कि India is among the top 5 countries which has highest preterm birth, estimated to be about 13%. The preterm birth problem are one of the biggest cause of the mortality among the children, and other countries like Bangladesh, Malawi, Pakistan and South Africa are among the list. The global preterm birth is the rate was 9.9% in 2020 and compared to 9.8% in 2010. Now इस report में और क्या-क्या चीजें extra बताई गई हैं that will be relevant for your mains examination per se. So the report highlighted that the United Nations agencies have almost half of the preterm birth. अगर बात करें pre-born, which is like 37 weeks से पहले जो pregnancy होती है, that is considered as a preterm birth, right? And this happened in the country like India. The 5 countries I mentioned: India, Pakistan, Nigeria, China, and Ethiopia. Now these together account for 45% of the babies born too soon and were exposed to the high mortality rates. So IMR की अगर बात करें infant mortality rate इस वजह से भी है. This indicates the silent emergencies of the child survivor and the healthcare. Every 2 seconds baby is born and every 40 seconds only one baby is dying. The estimated 13.4 million babies were born in the preterm in 2020 with nearly 1 million dying for the complications. So due to some health complication also the babies are dying. And apart from the premature birth, which is also there, is also a significant factor which is contributing to the deaths. Country-wise data की अगर बात करें, if you see country-wise, Bangladesh has the highest estimations, which is 16.2%. This will be followed by Malawi, 14.5%, and Pakistan, 14.4%. India and South Africa together have 13%, with top 5 countries in the high preterm rates. The total preterm birth numbers for the 5 countries are alarming and needed to be have on list of 13.16, Pakistan 9.14, Nigeria 7.4 lakh and China 7.52. The report includes the updated estimate from the WHO and UNICEF. So together the amalgamations of the reports were taken to consider and even look into the part of the current situation which is emerging. Government के क्या initiatives हैं इस regard में? If you talk about the Government of India precisely, so Government of India has launched many programs. The Newborn Action Plan is among one. So Indian Newborn Plan. The second is the Rashtriya Bal Suraksha Karyagram that has been set up. And apart from this, many specialty care unit has also been set up across the country. Their endeavor is to save life of the children and reduce the IMR. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, that is securing the migrant vote. Something important for general studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, first is the migrant vote. Surveys on the migrant voters, remote voting machines, a minimal standard of living, and the conclusion part. Now, As we know that today when I'm recording this lecture, the elections for the Karnataka State Assembly is ongoing and the Legislative Assembly elections for Karnataka is scheduled to be held today. And the total member of 224 is there in Karnataka. For this, the voting is taking place. And the date for the result is 13th of May, right? So this is the day where the declaration will be made by the Election Commission. Now, the discussion that we are discussing is mostly about the migrant voters that is residing in the Bangalore or the city of कर्नाटका. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो कर्नाटका अपने लाइवलीहुड ऑप्शंस के लिए जाते हैं, बट वहाँ पे वोटिंग नहीं होने की वजह से बट दे कंट्रीब्यूट अ सब्सटैंशियल पोर्शंस ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन, बट दे डोंट हैव द वोटिंग राइट. तो क्या वैसे वोटिंग्स पे हमें ध्यान देने की जरूरत है, बिकॉज पोटेंशियली दे कैन डिसाइड अ फैक्टर ऑफ द फॉर्मिंग ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. Now, as per the report in the newspaper, the number of the migrant in Karnataka has increased over the decade, definitely due to the livelihood option and employment opportunity in the state. Also, 42.12% of the greater Bangalore population originate from outside the district or the states. बात करें सर्वे ऑन माइग्रेंट वोटर्स की, यहाँ पे एक एजेंसीज हैं, बेसिकली प्राइवेट एजेंसीज लाइक लोक नीति सेंटर फॉर स्टडिंग और डेवलपमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटीज हैव कंडक्टेड अ रिसर्च and they found that the migrant voters in Bengaluru find out voting pattern. Localities की अगर बात करें जो localites हैं, the migrant voters were from north and eastern India and shows nearly 99% of them were not registered voter in Karnataka. तो उसमें से 99% जो voter थे, they were actually not registered. Some of them went adequately exercise the political right due to the geographical constraint, and even they were not able to travel to their hometown. So these facilities cannot be availed by. The migrant voter across the country are often apprehended about their registration themselves and even voters in their state apart from their home state. So there's a provision where election commission you can surrender that particular vote which actually you have, and you can even migrate to the city where you are living. Now this is due to the part of the frequency changes of the resident, fear of loss. This is home state inability and willingness to bring families with their well. तो बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जिन वजह से लोगों ने माइग्रेशंस एक्चुअल में नहीं करवाया. Now there's a concept called remote voting machine. This is a concept which was proposed by the Election Commission of India for introducing the remote voting to seek the extended facilities of migrant workers who have a difficult time facing their votes and even उनके जो वोट की लॉस है उसे शेव करने की. Now, there's a little awareness among the migrant workers about ECI proposals. That is, for 80% supports the proposal. बहुत सारे जो migrant workers they actually supported it, and only less than 10% expressed their apprehensions about the votings. Now, many of them voiced their concern and anxieties about the system accuracy as well. Now, there's a minimum standard of living that is very important. If you see in India, the disparity is huge. Whether you are living in a tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, the disparities goes on even for the metro cities as well. So many of the migrant workers which hails from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Assam were working in Bangalore outskirts, and they have an irregular wage, lack of opportunities, and even the part of the home state they are actually coming up. तो वहाँ पे कई सारे ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो उनको यहाँ फेस करनी पड़ती हैं, and their quality life is also compromised. Although the sizable population of the migrant worker have worked in Bangalore and they are happy to move to their home state, अगर उनको थोड़ी कम पैसे भी मिले comparatively तो भी वो अपने स्टेट में ही काम करना चाहेंगे. But the disparity is so high. Suppose an individual working in Bangalore is earning 30K per month. If he move out to his place in Bihar or Jharkhand or West Bengal, he'll be only getting 10K, right? So he feels that there's a difference of 20K and he's about to reside. He'll be only expenses of 5K, right? For his lodging and fooding and other stuff. So ultimately he's saving. For a people who have bread and butter on a daily basis, जहाँ पे उनकी livelihood और bread और butter उन्हीं से dependent है, उनके लिए इस तरह के पैसे की difference काफी हद तक मायने रखती है. And most popular reason for this was to be the closer, have to have a families, meet their expenses. So every single penny counts for them. Now to conclude on the part, election is an opportunity for the people to exercise the fundamental rights. And the fundamental right, everyone has a right to vote. And even the vote of migrant have been missing for the years. While the Election Commission of India has moved the array of to million of migrant workers, crucial priorities are ahead of creating awareness about the initiatives. And while the Election Commission of India has proposed to provide hope to millions of the migrant workers, two crucial priorities are there to create awareness about the initiative and ensure transparency. So this is how the conclusion can be made. So this was all about for the editorial. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ for practice. PM Daksh program के बारे में आपको बताना. It was launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs. It is an action plan for skilling the marginalized, covering the SC, OBC, NBTs and TNTs that is working for the part of the rank pickers or the waste pickers. So you have to choose for the correct option, which among the following is the correct one. Now, Akash missile is a range for 25 kilometers, simultaneously engaged in the multiple targets in all weather conditions. It was introduced in 2014 as the Air Force and 2015 in Army. So do check out for the correct option. Just pause this video, read out this complete statement, and then proceed further for the correct options. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.